First Community Arena is the site of our WNIT championship. We're 10 minutes away from awarding the trophy, and right now the Billikens sitting pretty. They added 10 more points to their halftime cushion. A 22-point lead for St. Louis. It's a beautiful trophy.
Nice and shiny. You can see the reflection of the camera in it. That's how you know it's a good trophy.
Well, Minnesota's had a real tough time doing anything offensively, shooting less than 29% from the field. And Julia Martinez, whether it's the steals, whether it's the turnovers, it's been a big factor in this game.
Everybody in a white jersey understands their role on this team. So they come in and they don't do too much. Everyone just does what they're supposed to, and it's been a recipe for success. And it helps that they've all played together so many games.
And you can see the continuity, you can see the understanding, you can see the knockdowns as well. Paige Kennedy hit a three at the end of the quarter. She knocks down another 17.
Kennedy's never rushed. She is always on her own time, and it is such a key when you are getting contested in a shot to not be rushed just like that for Gophers.
She needed that one. First three-point make, 5 points for Grace. Now back to Kennedy, her coach Rebecca Tillett yesterday told us she was playing at an elite level, and she wasn't lying. Ball back in the hands of Kennedy. Playing catch with McMakin, the veterans. McMakin hanging in the air. Doesn't get the foul, but she gets the basket. 16.
Her shoulders were barely square to the basket, so somehow that drops.
She was at Longwood with Coach Tillett, coming to St. Louis as part of a tournament team there. A tournament team here. Now they're trying to win the WNIT. That shot hangs, won't drop. Guess who got the rebound? Martinez. Open look again. Kennedy with a miss, but St. Louis still competing, trying to get that rebound, and knocked it out of bounds to Minnesota.
St. Louis is playing like they're down in this game right now, and they're up more than 20. 24 as I do the math in my head. But they're playing with a sense of urgency right now. That's how Minnesota needs to be playing.
There is a skip in their step right now, and you're right, it's the intensity that they're playing with. They've contested everything for Minnesota. Nothing has come easy for the Gophers in this game. Sonano hoists a three, and those threes just haven't dropped. The ball's out of bounds. It belongs to St. Louis.
St. Louis is moving on the flight of the ball, especially around the perimeter. So as the ball is going through the air, St. Louis is moving towards the person they're guarding. So on the catch, there's no time to get an open shot off.
Minnesota wants a timeout. Coach Plitzu-White will spend it here. 8:14 to go. Back to St. Louis right after this. Well, Jake, Elwood, and the St. Louis Billikens on a mission from God. The Billikens extending this lead over Minnesota. They have been fun to watch as they continue just to get better in this game, Megan.
Not only is St. Louis playing so hard, but they are playing so balanced. 22 points in their paint. They're able to knock down threes from a 47% clip as a team because they're spreading the floor and getting into the paint at ease. Everybody is moving at the right time. Everybody's on the same page. It's been beautiful basketball to watch from St. Louis.
How about a 10 rebound, 6 assist, 5 steal game? You talk about filling up the stat sheet for Julia Martinez.
That's a monster stat line, and that's somebody that comes in, doesn't necessarily need the glory scoring. She takes so much pride in getting steals, getting rebounds, those little things that are winning plays.
If I'm Minnesota, I look over there, I see her sitting on the bench, and I think, thank goodness that I get a little breather, a little break. Leading into the three and knocking down another one. This was Brooklyn Gray. Her coach said she lights up her room, she lights up a gym, and she kind of body language that one through.
Her personality is hysterical. She has been just so hilarious this whole game when it comes to her facial expressions.
And a takeaway again, but Minnesota should get it back. It's a Minnesota team that really cut down on their turnovers from a year ago, but it feels like they're facing 6 defenders now. And even when those shots get to the iron, they haven't all dropped. That one will go from Sophie Hart, who leads the way with 13.
St. Louis has done a great job of packing the paint, so there really hasn't been any room for Minnesota to get the ball inside to Hart or to drive even on a reversal.
Almost taken away by Battle. And then Kennedy Calhoun gets the foul. She's indignant. She can't believe she got called for the foul.
Her coach got on her, too, for that reaction. She said, don't do that. She straightened back up. Went to maybe give the ball to the official.
14 today. They haven't led to runouts necessarily, but they've just taken them away from opportunities to try and get open shots and looks. Simon rebounds. Little sloppy sequence here, but guess who took it back? Calhoun with another steal. Brooklyn Gray shovels out to McMakin. Everything falling now for the Billikens. 19 for McMakin. She has gone over 5,600 points coming into this game.
Now this is the definition of a highlight. A great defensive play, saved by Calhoun. And then the unselfish extra pass, McMakin making shots all day long. I love the pass from Brooklyn Gray.
There's no doubt, setting her up, and I meant minutes, of course, with what she's played. It's just amazing that somebody's coming to college, started every game, played well over 5,600 minutes, been a part of winning teams. What an amazing journey she's had playing college basketball.
It is massive to have that experience. Again, and this team has played so many games together this year on their 40th game. That's what happens when you have great chemistry. Highlights, just like the one you saw.
Minnesota's been a little more aggressive trying to turn over St. Louis here in the last couple of minutes. There's still almost 6 minutes to go, but the arrow will stay in front of this end, Minnesota basketball. For St. Louis, they're going to have to say goodbye to a few of these players who have been such a part of this program and the previous stop at Longwood. Minnesota hoping that these young players will benefit from playing deep into March and into April with this postseason experience.
They will absolutely benefit. When you look at the Big Ten, you see Indiana's won this tournament before, Michigan's won this tournament. Northwestern went to the title game of this tournament, and next year went and won the Big Ten Conference. You get so much momentum from ending a season together, especially young teams that you have a lot of players coming back for the next season. This is a great springboard for the Gophers headed into next season.
And Holloway with the basket. I think you also find out what it takes to win in games like this. There's a skip in the step of the Billikens as they move this ball around the perimeter. Johns let go with the three. She hadn't made one of those all year. She was trying to do so here late into the season.
It looked good, too.
Looked good out of her hands.
We got a timeout on the board.
30-second timeout on the floor. Back to Edwardsville right after this. St. Louis hoping to cut down a net when we're into pickleball. Of course, this isn't their gym, so maybe they'll have to buy SIUE a new net or something to make up for that. But
I'm sure there's an Amazon Prime deal or something out there.
Be happy to do so. Calhoun took a couple of steps, and she'll get whistled for the traveling violation. Playoff 10. Is in her third year as a junior, and again to play in two NCAA tournaments with two different teams, and then maybe to win a WNIT today. She's had quite a journey in just 3 years.
I love how her name's Playoff Ken, because she's playing like she's in the playoffs. I mean, she's been so consistent throughout this whole tournament. So many little plays that she has come up with, a loose ball or a big score, and it's led to this huge lead for the Billikens.
It's hard to sell some players on the fact that, hey, I need you to get all the loose balls. I need you to distribute. I need you to rebound or steal the basketball. But the Billikens, as you mentioned earlier, they understand, they know their roles, and they love living up to those.
They also love playing defense, and that's what's
Good
so
point.
impressive. Brett, no one likes playing defense.
It's not much fun compared to the offensive end.
Scoring's more fun, but St. Louis gets their offense going because they dictate everything defensively.
And it's taken Minnesota out of what they have wanted to do today. They had 74 points at Troy as Sanders hits one of the free throws, and they really look good at times against Troy. Had to withstand a barrage by the home team just to get to this championship game. But today, it's been tough. At the half, they only had 21 points, hoping for a big third quarter. It did not take place. Battle is yet to score in transition here. And there's hands everywhere from the Billikens. And even after the deflection from Gray, it's still St. Louis ball.
Minnesota has had barely any opportunities wide open in transition because St. Louis hustles back so hard and prevents any sort of opportunity and advantage for the Minnesota.
St. Louis talks about playing at 212 degrees. It's the point of boiling water. I would say check mark. 212 degrees, boiling water. Minnesota has felt that boil.
212 feels like 312 degrees.
And McMakin draws the contact, bodies on the deck, and she'll shoot two.
I wonder what happens at 312 degrees.
I don't think we want to know. It might be nuclear, but
could be.
They've exceeded that degree threshold here this afternoon. McMakin again, 5+ years, more than 1,000 made field goals, more than 1,000 points with each of her two schools. Alicia Clark, Belmont, Middle Tennessee, Jessica Shepard, Nebraska, Notre Dame, the others. She just keeps tacking on. She only has a few more minutes to do so in her college career. Even some of the point-blank shots have not fallen, and Holloway will have free throws.
Even when Minnesota gets to the rim, St. Louis is right there to make it a difficult shot. They're still contesting and challenging at the basket, which has been a huge key to success.
Peyton Kennedy back in for St. Louis. You start to recognize the finality of a career at this point when you start to think about my last go, my last game. As Holloway makes the free throw.
Wow.
And look at those career points.
Brett, it's hard to score 2 points in a college basketball game, let alone almost 3,000.
Yeah, barreling towards 2,900. Feels like most of the loose balls have gone to St. Louis. This one goes to the Gophers. They have a 3-on-1 break. It will result in a basket from Heyer, who reaches double figures with the 11 points. First
time Minnesota had numbers, it feels like, in this game in transition. They finally attack and finish at the rim.
Inside 3 minutes to go. Martinez and Calhoun have really kind of executed this offense and defense today for St. Louis. Coach Tillett said her team wanted to earn the last possible practice, and they did so yesterday. They're trying to finish the year winning 6 straight, 11 of 12.
That is quite the way to go out, and what a way to put an exclamation point. Playing this well in a title game. Only 3 teams in women's basketball get to cut down nets and say they were a champion to end their season.
Peyton Kennedy touched all of the rim, but got that one to drop. 19 for the senior. Minnesota on the other end. That's a quick answer. Something they've been looking for at times in this game. Foul on McMakin. And Gophers will have a chance to complete the 3-point play. Sonano back in. She's going to replace Mallory Heyer. Saw the lay-in from Sanders, who also reached double figures with that hoop. And the ovations quite loud now for the Billikens, including McMakin on her way to the end of the bench, I would imagine, for the last time in her college career.
And what a game she had today, starting in the mid-range, getting to the basket. Defensively, she was in the right place at the right time. I love the balance of the St. Louis team.
What a pass. And a find, and Kennedy again. Everything but the lay-in for the Billikens. That looked like a CC22 pass with that backdoor bounce pass. And Minnesota reigns in a 3, and it's waved off with a foul first. That kind of sums up the afternoon for the Golden Gophers, and even coach has to kind of smirk or laugh.
Minnesota has not been able to get the 3-ball to drop whatsoever in this game. And
that's a look of disbelief right there.
They're going to review it, it looks like. Perhaps a coach's challenge.
We'll get an explanation here in a moment. 2:05 to go in this game.
Awesome.
To find out if the ball was released first from Grocholski.
So they're trying to see what happened first, the screen, which was an illegal screen, or if the shot got off. And it looks like the shot got off before the screen happened.
I think the shot was off in time.
Yeah, the shot was off. That should be a 3. That should count. It was an illegal screen, though, yes, for the record. We've seen some of those lately. And it's a point of emphasis in college basketball this year.
Understood. And it's not anything new this deep into the year. And we're seeing more and more 3-point shots. Offenses pushed further away from the basket. And obviously teams try and generate some space with some screens for their shooters.
And there's the contact. The shot's off before the contact occurs.
I mean, she is moving. She's drifting into that defender. Again, the question is, was the shot released first? I would say close enough at this point right now for Minnesota. They could use the feel-good process of that one dropping. Grocholski hit a huge 3 with Minnesota only up a point the other day at Troy. If she misses it, Troy gets the basketball a chance to go down and win. She hit it to make it a 4-point game. And we'll get an explanation here soon. 2:05 to go. I believe they're going to count the basket. Basket is going to be good. Grocholski with their second 3, 8 points. And Battle picks up the first personal foul of her afternoon. St. Louis trying to pick up another Power 5 win, and that's what this tournament means to me as well. You get to play teams that you might not normally get a chance. Minnesota's probably not going to come to St. Louis for a game outside of postseason play. And for St. Louis to be able to knock off Wisconsin, maybe beat Minnesota at home, what a way to keep building your entirety of your season resume in this event.
Always good to face different competition, see what's out there. Talk about moving without the ball defensively. Big steal for Minnesota.
Sanders trying to lean in. Ball got knocked away. Sonato runs it down. Sanders will try again. Leaning, shooting, and scoring. Janae Sanders has been a bright spot, the App State transfer.
This Minnesota team has a lot to take away from this tournament. To be able to finish the year with 20 wins after competing in a tough Big Ten conference, dealing with injuries, they're going to be a fun team to watch over the course of next season as their underclassmen rather become upperclassmen.
Agreed. St. Louis called a timeout. I think they said, let's keep playing. I believe she said, let's just roll it. She called the timeout when her defender was holding the basketball over on the sideline. Already seen McMakin go to the bench, but she came back in. Clegg has hit a couple of threes today, so some of the veterans back on the floor for the final minute and change. Sendin with the basketball. Madal can't hit. St. Louis basketball. Here at St. Louis, they call an expression, arte, something familiar. It's about excellence of any kind, living up to your full potential. I would say they're getting close to being able to check that off their list for this WNIT postseason run as well.
I don't know if there's many things on film that Coach Tillett is not going to like when it comes to the offensive balance, the defensive effort. So many little things that St. Louis did at a high level throughout this game. They brought the intensity, and they never took their foot off the gas pedal.
You could understand playing this deep into a season and maybe you were a little fatigued if you didn't close out with the same intensity or go after all of the loose balls. If anything, it feels like the Billikens did more today than what would be possible.
Just a great feel-good way to also end your year. But they came into this game focused, locked in from the tip. There was never any point in time where it felt like Minnesota had momentum at all.
Point game, 51 seconds to go. The party has started with the Billiken band. Zach Brown is playing a concert tonight with Adam Wainwright, the Cardinal pitcher, at their arena. So they had to travel about 35 miles to Edwardsville, but most of the Billiken diehards are here. The band is here, and they've made it a pretty good home court type experience.
It's been loud. There's a lot of blue here as well. And of course, the Billiken mascot has been doing his thing this whole game.
Hey, the coach's daughter in there as well. Isabel, she wants to coach at some point as well when her playing time is done. She might get a chance to go to the line here in a moment. Take away by the Gophers. Final few seconds. We just had a moving screen as well.
See
with the first
one on a show right now. Just an acrobatic finish. Goodness. After she takes this screen, you see the movement there. Watch her on the ground. After this, like Shakespearean.
Minnesota hoping to get one more shot up. Maybe fitting. It's a deflection and takeaway instead. What a display of energy and effort for SLU. The St. Louis Billikens winning 11 of their last 12 games to take home the WNIT championship. What a finish to the tournament. What a finish to their season. And the Billikens take home the hardware. All smiles for Coach Rebecca Tillett. In the last 3 years, she's had a couple of trips to the NCAA tournament. This year, the WNIT, and they run the table and win it. 69-50 St. Louis with the victory. And Megan standing by with Coach.
Coach, from the beginning, the defense was so balanced, moving on the fly to the ball. Why was it so disruptive today?
That was our intention, right? Dictate and disrupt is what we talked about. And our women just were so laser focused to execute the game plan and help each other anytime there was an error.
They helped each other offensively as well. What can you say about the balance that you saw from your team?
You know, when we share it, we're at our absolute best, and we love to share it tonight.
Congratulations on winning this thing. How special is it to do it with this team?
It's so special for this group. We got a couple of seniors graduating. We got people coming back that want to do big things. We want to do big things together, and we just did.
Congratulations, Coach. Appreciate it.
Well, the St. Louis Billikens, tournament champions. The APP Tour from Delray Beach coming up next. Well, for Megan McEwen and our entire crew, I'm Brett Dolan. This has been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. St. Louis, almost wire to wire. They take down Minnesota. They win the WNIT title 69-50. So long from First Community Arena in Edwardsville, Illinois. Coming up next, the APP Tour, Delray Beach after a break. For Megan, I'm Brad. Thanks for tuning in. Congratulations to St. Louis.